Number 15. Now, here's a new tie that shares a good element, and they're both from my good friends of the Disney gang. They are Mickey's Once Upon a Christmas and Mickey's Twice Upon a Christmas. Now, these two films don't even have a plot, since they're just films that include Christmas stories. So let's just start with the first one in my tie. In Mickey Once Upon a Christmas, it includes 3 stories. The film is narrated by Kelsey Grammer, who shows that there are 3 toys underneath a tree that symbolize a certain story. The first story that is in it is called Stuck on Christmas, which stars Donald Duck, Huey, Dewey, and Louie, Scrooge McDuck, Gertie, and Daisy. It's like in the story, Huey, Dewey, and Louie love Christmas so much that they just don't want to wait another year for it to happen again, so they wish upon a star for it to be daily, and that wish is granted easily, but then as it keeps going, they get irritated with it, and they learn what Christmas is all about. It's more like getting presents or having fun all the time, and learn their lesson and all. And they learn to celebrate Christmas with their families and all. In the second special, A Very Goofy Christmas, Max and Goofy did send their letter to Santa Claus, but then their neighbor Pete just scoffs at them, saying that Santa is just a bunch of nonsense. So Goofy tries to prove to Max that Santa does exist by convincing that he will take a picture on top of the roof. But the moral of that special is like faith and trust, and learning that dreams can come true if you believe in someone you love. And the third and final special of this film is Mickey and Minnie's version of Gift of the Magi. This one is considered to be the, most tear-jerking of all the specials, because the ending does give me a tear in my eye every time I watch it. Like, Mickey trades his harmonica for a chain for Minnie's watch, and Minnie trades her watch for a case for Mickey's harmonica. And it's a bit sad, but the things I like about that story is that Figaro cameos in it, and after a while, Mortimer Mouse is Minnie's boss in that one, and he's still the same jerk he always is in the Mickey cartoons. But I also like how there's a Firehouse band, which is kind of similar to that Firehouse 5+2 band that premiered at Disneyland a long time ago. So this is a really good special. However, how does it compare to the sequel, Mickey's Twice Upon a Christmas? Well, just wondered why it had to change from hand-drawn to CGI, but even with that, this one does include 5 stories. The first one is Bells on Ice, which has Minnie and Daisy at a skating contest, or something like that, and they both have, characters from Fantasia with them, like Minnie has alligators from the Dance of the Hours segment, while Daisy has the hippos from that same segment as well. But they learn about friendship and peace on Earth together. The second special is Christmas Impossible, which focuses on Huey, Dewey, and Louie getting their names on Santa's list. They ship themselves to the North Pole, but while they try to get their names on the list, they cause a big mess in the factory. But they do work together to clean up their mess, and that's great for them. The third special is Christmas Maximus, which, Max and his friend Mona coming home from college, I mean. And Max is still, as always tired of his dad embarrassing him at times, but then learns that his dad always loves him no matter what he does to him. And the fourth special, Donald's Gift. It's like in that one, Donald is kind of considered an idiot. We're always thinking about hot chocolate and peace and quiet when family loves him, and he keeps on getting irritated with listening to We Wish You a Merry Christmas a lot. But then at the end of that story, Donald does clean up his act by getting into the Christmas spirit again. And the fifth story in this film is called Mickey's Doggone Christmas, which focuses on Pluto. Like, after Pluto does accidentally cause a big mess in Mickey's house and destroys the decorations, Pluto runs away and meets up with Santa's reindeer, which kind of takes him in and calls him Murray. Don't know why, but... So, and while Pluto is spending time with them, Pluto starts to feel homesick and starts to miss Mickey. And Santa does bring back Pluto home. Overall, these two films are great to watch during the holiday season, and it's worth watching at once. Number 14. Now this one holds a special place in my heart. Annabelle's Wish. The story is about a baby calf who was born on Christmas Eve and wishes to fly with Santa's reindeer. And also, during that time, Santa does bring the animals a special present that only works once a year. The ability to talk to each other. Sorry. And also Annabelle does make friends with a boy named Billy who can't talk at all due to the fact from smoke inhalation because of a fire that happened on the farm one night. Some parts of it is really tear-jerking, but it's still a great story to me. But also Cass Soucy, in my opinion, does a great job voicing Annabelle. And the villain, Aunt Agnes, played by Cloris Leachman, is really a creepy character. It's like trying to get Billy as her own custody. Jeez. So this film will always remind you that Christmas is always a great time for wishes. Number 13. Now this one you may argue that it's may or may not be a Christmas movie, but I feel like it's one that I like to watch during Christmas time because of its winter settings. And that film is a Hans Christian Andersen adaptation called The Wild Swans. This one was made during the 70s at times. Like, you may already know the story, and so do I, but I'll tell you anyway. The story is about a young girl named Eliza who wants to try to break a spell that were cast on to her brothers by their stepmother, Greta. And the only way to break the spell is that for 6 years, she needs to make 6 garments made from nettles, and she mustn't utter one word of complaint or one word at all, otherwise her brothers will die. And just when Eliza is about to finish the last garment, things get really nuts when her stepmother tries to do anything she can to stop Eliza from breaking the curse, and also when she's about to marry the king who finds her in the forest. And what she does, even with her, what Greta does with her mom is pretty drastic and dangerous. Even trying to convince Eliza to speak or cry out in pain. Man. And I like how they fix up the end of the story at the end. They don't have anyone ending up with one wing at the end. And it's a really beautiful story. And in case you find this one on Amazon.com, I'd recommend you find it soon while you can. It's worth a watch. Number 12. Now this one's going to be another one about the jolly old man Santa Claus. And it's also about his family that will take people on a cross-country road trip that was made quite recently. Arthur Christmas. However, this one's mostly about his son, Arthur, trying to deliver a remaining present that Santa forgot to deliver before Christmas morning dawns. And Arthur is aided by the help of his grandfather, Grand Santa, and also a package-wrapping elf who accompanies them. The road trip is really rocky at times, but also the government thinks it can be a little bit of a weirdo, at times, thinking that they're aliens. Jeez. And also another thing that Arthur's older brother Steve is considered a douchebag. Just the idea of Santa using a spaceship to deliver presents is kind of an outrageous idea, but still okay. But I always prefer the sleigh and reindeer to deliver presents, if anyone knows what I mean. Number 11. Now this one's another Rankin Bass film that always shares a safe place in my heart. That film is Frosty the Snowman. I mean, who doesn't love this movie? I mean, Frosty is like from a classic Christmas song, like all the other Rankin Bass films that were made. So far, like, Frosty, after being brought to life by a hat, things don't go too well. Like, not too long after he's brought to life, he discovers that the temperature is about to rise soon, and that the kids need to get him to the North Pole before he melts. Not only that, but the hat that brought him to life also belongs to a selfish magician named Professor Hinkle, who'll do just anything to get his hat back. Or even if it means killing the snowman. Or at least melting him. But the one kid that does seem to accompany Frosty throughout his journey is a little girl named Karen, who is my favorite character in the film, along with Hocus Pocus, which is the magician's rabbit. Also, not too long after this film was made, Frosty did have a few other Rankin Bass films that were made, like Frosty's Winter Wonderland, which we introduced to his wife Crystal, and another film I may talk about later that's up this list, where we're introduced to his children, Millie and Chili. Plus, there were also non-Rankin Bass films that did have Frosty in it, like Frosty Returns, that had John Goodman in it, and Legend of Frosty the Snowman, which starred Bill Figurbake. So overall, this film is a really classic and great, and God bless you, Jimmy Durante, for making this song possible. Now, I only have 2 more parts left of this countdown, so stay tuned, everybody.